So here we go. We have another stele, right? And what is this one about? Well, this is the great thing about the Egyptians, right? They had 3 languages. You had hieroglyphs, and these could also be considered hieroglyphs, even though, it's like really artwork, right? And they had Demotic script, and they had hieratic, right? And, they were a very educated society, so lots of people could read one of these 3 languages. Probably like somewhere between 40 to 60% of the country was probably literate in reading some of one of the 3 languages. But the great thing about the Egyptian hieroglyphs and their artwork was you didn't have to read to understand what they're saying. Now in this stele, you've got Isis right here. She's the goddess of the moon, right? Which is the round disc at the top of her head. She's also Hathor, the bull goddess, right? Hathor was a separate god for the early and the middle kingdoms, but by the late kingdom they were considered one deity. And she was married to Osiris. And Osiris always has this conical hat, right? And he died and went to the underworld. So what do we got going on here? We have, see how much larger they are in context of this person? So this person was just an average everyday Egyptian. And what are they doing? He's giving offerings to the gods. Okay? And why is he giving offerings to these 2 gods? Because Osiris is the ruler of the underworld. When he died, was murdered by his brother Set. Osiris, his wife was Isis, powerful moon goddess. What did she do? With the help of Thoth, she was able to bring him back to life. And he couldn't leave the underworld, but he was brought back to life by her and presides over the underworld. Prior to that, he was the ruler of the earthly realm, right? Which is why Set killed him, because Set wanted to be the ruler of that world. And then straight here, we've got a chalice or a cup, and you got the lotus flower. And whenever you see the lotus flower in this artwork, they're talking about an LSD-like hallucinogen, because that's what the lotus flower is. If you grind it up and drink it in alcohol, you start to have an LSD-like experience, and it brings you to where? To the underworld, where you could talk to the gods, right? So the average person's praying, giving offerings, and he's communicating with the gods. And what they're probably saying is like, hey, please give me long, healthy life, right? And then you've got the Uraeus, the wings with the solar disk. And this is the Uraeus right here, the snake, right? The cobra, which is the sign of the gods, or the pharaoh. So if you actually want to look it up, here's the information. And then we've got some other smaller objects in here. I mean, these people are just an incredible civilization. Certainly one of my favorite older civilizations. Here we've got Isis with child, right? If you see any medieval era paintings of mother and child, this is the iconography. She's sitting and she's holding Christ. So Isis is the moon goddess. Mary is the moon goddess. They're both virgins because her husband Horus did not have a penis. When he was chopped into pieces, Set spread his remains all over the planet. And the one part she could not find was his reproduction organ. So she went to the underworld, revived him, brought him back to life, and used her powers and his powers to procreate, just like Jesus did. Jesus was procreated with Mary and God, right? So it's the same Same mythology, the same iconography. And this one's pretty cool because it's actually got a little green hue on it. Right, so I wonder if that's made out of copper. But you can see these people were just masters of art, metallurgy, the human body, etc. Now look at this. You can see this is still painted. Right, we got the symbol for water right there. Sekhmet. So let's see. So all of this stuff was painted. It wasn't like this. Right? This is what happened after it was buried in the dirt for thousands of years. The paint just leached off of it. Okay. Here's a scene of war. Right? An invasion, possibly by the people of the sea, which for 200 years Egypt was ruled by some foreign invader, and all we know of them is they were called the people of the sea. They came from the Mediterranean, and just a massive wave and like a tsunami of warfare erupted over the entire land of Egypt, like out of nowhere. The Egyptian army was completely overwhelmed, and these people, possibly, if that's what this is showing, the people of the sea, they ruled all of Egypt for 200 years, and when the Egyptians took it back over control, they destroyed all evidence of them. So we have no idea who these people are, where they came from, where they were the Macedonians, the Greeks. Some speculate it's Atlanteans, we don't know.